Welcome to the Better Things Ahead podcast. This is where we take time to look at different journeys that individuals go on throughout their life. My name is Matt. I'm the executive and discipleship pastor at Ridgecrest Baptist Church, and I'm joined today with our senior pastor, Michael Estes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
This is fun. We've had the opportunity to talk through several journeys on this podcast.
That's right.
And this week we're going to jump in and this is going to be kind of an intro to the next several podcast episodes that we have, all surrounding the holidays. Mm-hmm. And I say holidays not to try to be like politically
you don't want to be politically correct?
I'm not saying holidays to avoid saying Christmas. That's not what we're talking about.
There are more than one actual holiday.
There are. And so, when these podcasts, come out, over the next several weeks, you're going to have Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And you're going to have Christmas, and you're going to have New Year's. And so whenever I'm talking about holidays, I'm kind of really wrapping all those into this series. And so we're going to be looking at all those holidays. And so over the next several weeks, we're going to look at all sorts of different aspects of journeys that kind of go along with the holidays. Some families travel. Some families will, load up the family and go visit like the extended family out of town and go do that. Some
by travel, the first one that you mentioned, you mean not like go see family, like go on a vacation.
Yeah, and you have some families that do that, right? And so some families will do that where they'll do a destination.
We've done that
kind
before.
of holiday. Yeah, and so I know there's been families like they say, hey, for Christmas we're going to go to Disney World or Cancun or whatever. And so we'll talk through that. We'll talk through some families who, maybe there's some individuals who out there, experience the holidays alone. Maybe a college student, they've moved off to go to college. For whatever reason, they can't come back home. So they're in their dorm room alone. How do they kind of walk
that? Makes me think of the Harry Potter movies where Harry always had to stay because he didn't have family to go home to. And so just kind of sad to think about, but like he actually really enjoyed those times because he hung out with some friends that stayed at the dorms with him. Anyways,
that's right. And you figure out some ways to kind of get in trouble and like sneak around and do some things.
So we should ask the question. I know this is a total like divergence from our actual topic, but it's kind of related. Like, should we stick with the Americanized version of Merry Christmas or should we say Happy Christmas?
Oh yeah, Happy Christmas is great. Like it just feels better.
Producer Kelly, do you have an opinion on Happy or Merry Christmas?
Now that y'all are talking about it, I don't really know, but like Happy Christmas it's just not what we're used to. It doesn't sound right. But I get it. It's fun.
Both Merry and Happy mean the same general thing. So it's just a matter of preference, I guess.
Yeah. That would have been good research to do ahead of this podcast to figure out why Americans say Merry Christmas.
Because we were trying to push back against our British overlords. And
I guess so. Because we say happy everything else.
Happy birthday. We don't say Merry birthday.
Right. That'd be weird.
That would be really weird.
Yeah. So I don't know. That we'll do some research there. And
maybe before the beginning of the next holiday podcast, we'll have a full report on why we say Merry and not Happy Christmas.
That's right.
I wonder if we're the only place in the world that says Merry Christmas.
That's a good question, too.
I don't know about Canadians.
I don't know that Canadians believe in Christmas.
Canadians have Christmas. They don't have Thanksgiving.
I'm just joking.
Our neighbors to the south, Feliz Navidad. Feliz means what? Happy?
That's happy.
Yeah.
So that's more,
something to think about.
Yeah.
We're one of the few that would drive on the right side of the road. We don't use the metric system.
Yeah.
We're just rebels across the board.
That's right. So with that being said,
all right.
So that's kind of where we're going over the next several weeks, and looking at that. We'll have 1 week where we talk about grief and kind of grieving through the holidays. Some people have lost loved ones close to the holidays. Sometimes Thanksgiving or Christmas, New Year's, this might be the first holiday without a loved one. So we'll talk to some individuals about that. And so that's kind of where we're going over the next several weeks through this holiday series. So to kind of introduce and kind of give us the opportunity to talk through that a little bit, I just thought it would be fun for us to kind of talk through some of our traditions, some of our memories that we can think back on and see how those memories and those things kind of impact all these different journeys that we're going to be talking about over the next several weeks. So I guess to kind of start, Are there any like specific traditions or fond memories that you have as far as from your maybe childhood or adulthood, whatever, just a fond memory that you have from holidays?
Yeah. So I'll talk about traditions first, and do we want producer Kelly to share some traditions as well?
Oh, sure.
Okay, yeah. So she looks super excited about this. So traditionally, what we did as a family, as I grew up, we had a pretty small extended family. Well, I say that in relative terms because I have two real experiences of holiday traditions. I have my family's experience of holiday traditions, and I have Julie's family. And our families are different in that the extended family for me is a little bit smaller, and her extended family is very large. The best way I can illustrate this is the second time that we spent meaningful time together when we were first starting to date. So the first time we went to a movie with some friends, hung out, it was great. Second time, she was like, "Hey, we're having a family get together. Would you want to come?" And I was like, "Sure." I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again because it's a great story. I was like, "Sure," because my understanding of family get-together meant like 8 to 10, 12 people. I was all ready to just kind of like meet a few people and just kind of hang out and have a dinner or whatever. And first of all, where we lived was about 35 or 40 minutes from where her family was meeting. And at the time, we were driving out into Madison County, so like 463 in the late 1990s. There was literally nothing. And so we were driving down this, what looked like an abandoned road, and all I see is trees. Like there's no houses, there's nothing. And we pull up to this house, and as we pull up to the house, there are cars everywhere. And I'm like, how many people are here? She said, "It's just my family." I walk in, and there are like grandparents. So that was, like four grandparents are there, and then her parents are there, and then aunts and uncles are there, and then cousins are there, and then grandchildren are there. And I mean, in total, there was like 35 people there. And I was like, what is this? I was not what I was ready. My understanding of family get together was a very specific thing. And it was also not super high energy. It was usually kind of like, we're just hanging out. We're real laid back. There it was like loud, and there were people running around and like having a great time. And I was like, okay, I was not prepared for this. Like I did not have this experience growing up. That's kind of the way my holidays experience were when we were younger. It tended to be really relaxed, slow. We did have family get-togethers. We ate together at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Typically, it was over at our house. We didn't go to our extended family's house. We invited them over. So we hosted a lot, but it tended to be small and quiet. And so that's what I grew up with. And now it's changed a lot as me and my sister have gotten older, and we've married and had children. So now when we get together, it's a little bit bigger and more high energy than it was when we were younger. We have family kickball games. At Thanksgiving, the last couple of Thanksgivings that we did over at my parents' house, we had family kickball games where it was my family versus my sister's family. And year one, we had an injury because my sister decided to go all out, and my wife was pitching the ball to her. By pitching in kickball, you're just rolling it, right? Mm-hmm. She was probably 20 feet from home plate, and my sister decided to just absolutely annihilate a kickball into her face. And so she's rolling around on the ground. They didn't stop. They just kept running.
Well, that's baseball, right? You just gotta go till they call time.
In a real game, sure, but this was a family get together, and so my sister decided to take it super seriously, I guess. And anyways, Julie just rolled around on the ground, holding her face, and thankfully there was nothing broken. She didn't bleed, but there she was. Anyways, the next year we annihilated them because we had to get her back. We had to get our get back, and that's what we did. So that was a fond memory of a recent Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I think, I don't know. I was trying to think, as far as some of those go, and I couldn't think of any specific memory. As far as traditions go, we didn't really have necessarily a tradition as far as holidays go growing up. Of course, my parents were divorced, so that kind of, a lot of times, I always knew that I would kind of be with mom on Christmas Eve and dad on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the tradition that worked well, and it was fine. And so, like, as a kid, my mom's extended family would kind of do some things and, get together. And so a lot of cousins and stuff my age did that for a few years. We weren't necessarily involved in that every single year or anything like that, enough to kind of build a tradition. But I guess as far as the real tradition of that kind of division between mom and dad was worked out well, because I always enjoyed, being a mom on Christmas Eve, because that's when I'd open up all of her presents.
Yeah.
Right. And be able to have that time together and, do all of that. And then I knew that once that was done, I'd go to dad's house and then wake up Christmas morning there and do it all again. And so, always kind of had essentially 2 Christmases.
Yeah.
And they were both great, and, kind of, created that opportunity to do that. And that was just the norm for me, right? I know some people, maybe parents divorced, later in life or face those different types of things. For me, my parents divorced early enough to where that's all I knew. Yeah. And so it was just normal, and it was fine. And my parents always did a great job at making those kinds of things normal for me. Like, I never grew up feeling like, oh, well, I wonder what it would be like to have this or that or whatever, because they made our holidays, it was normal, and so that was kind of it for me. And growing up, something that I did before we moved here, as a pastor, I started organizing a turkey bowl, and did that flag football tournament, and did it for students, and then kind of branched out to college-aged kids and adults. And we ended up having, we did it for, I think, 4 or 5 years in a row, and just got bigger each year. And it was a blast. And I look forward to doing that every year. And, and we'd kind of draft teams and get them all kind of set up. And it was a fun way to kind of spend that Thanksgiving weekend of, a community outreach event. And again, we had a tremendous amount of people involved, and a lot of those guys that, were involved weren't churched. And so it was a neat opportunity to kind of introduce them to the church. But, it was just fun to kind of get out and, as an adult, play football and have a good time. And so that was something that
blow out
I
ACLs.
Yeah, that's right. We had man, that's a memory. We were one of the years we were playing, and there was this one guy. He was probably college age, older college, and he was one of the better athletes out there. And in one particular game, he went down and ended up just being a cramp. But it was like the gnarliest cramp I have ever seen. It was in his calf muscle, where he went out and you could see the calf muscle just like wiggling around, because it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen, and like could only imagine like how much pain he was in. He had been fine, like didn't tear anything or anything like that. It was just for something,
no, thank you,
caused it. But yeah, so so that's kind of it for me. I'm kind of low key, even kill when it comes to that sort of stuff. But
it's interesting that both of our stories had involved an injury because of what was supposed to be a fun sporting event.
Those are always the most dangerous.
100%, because you're out there and you're like, this is going to be fun, this is going to be great, and you're not actually like ramped up like you need to be to protect your body, and then all of a sudden it's just like one little move and boom, you're down.
That's right.
That's one of the things I fear the most when it comes to playing the family kickball game. Is all I'm just going to do is just try to waylay a ball. The next thing I know, my knee's just going to be there, just dangling. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, but
that's right.
Producer Kelly, do you have any family traditions, memories that you like that made you our injury reports made you think of?
I don't have any injuries to report. None of those. But we basically, like, my mom's side of the family is the side of the family that lives here. And our holidays look so much like Julie's. Like, a family get together and it is 40 to 50 people.
Yeah.
That's just what you're used to. There's lots of people all around. And then my dad's side of the family is just kids screaming in the hallway.
Love it.
My dad's side of the family, it was usually just like his parents and then us. And so like that one was like 6 people max.
Yeah.
And so it was very different, the two things. But Thanksgiving and Christmas, we would spend with my mom's side of the family here doing something fun. And then somewhere around Christmas, like my other grandparents lived like 3 hours away.
Yeah.
And so we would go down there for the day and spend the day with them. But we don't play any active sports for any of these like you guys. We just kind of hang out and enjoy lots of food and family.
Yeah. So that makes me think of like, not everybody is like going to do the active fun stuff as far as like the sports and stuff like that outside. Like one of the things our family, my family did growing up is we had like these movies that would kind of always happen during Christmas. So like we would always watch certain movies at certain points in the Christmas season. My family now, like there's about 3 or 4 of them that are definitely a part. Like Elf is definitely one that's the one that kind of kicks off Christmas for us.
Yep.
And it happens right after Thanksgiving or around that time. And we watch, Elf, and we laugh at the same jokes that we always laughed at. And but the one that is very controversial at our house is the one that was very normal at my house growing up. If you know much about life in the United States of America, TBS and TNT play one movie on loop, Christmas Eve and all day Christmas, and it's A Christmas Story. Mm-hmm. And I grew up with that movie on loop at my house, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Typically Christmas Day, we'd get up and we'd open presents and we'd do our thing, and then that movie would end up on TV, because a lot of times back then, like there wasn't anything else to watch. It wasn't like now they have NFL games and like stuff is going on Christmas Day. There's a lot more networks to watch. We were there's like 25 stations that we got to pick from. And so like we didn't have Netflix. We didn't have, stuff that you could just stream and just kind of pull up whatever you want. So like that was the movie on loop on TBS, and we would watch it on loop. My wife hates that movie.
Yep.
My kids are divided on that movie.
Okay.
And some of them are okay with it, some of them not so much. I always have it on a little bit.
Okay.
We have found common ground in the sense of like we can compromise, and I can put it on for just a little while, see a couple parts of it, and then we move on. But do you guys have any like traditional movies that are a part of your Thanksgiving, Christmas type family stuff?
I'm not a Christmas Story fan. Whitney grew up liking it because her and her dad would watch it or whatever.
Yep.
That's one I don't enjoy.
Just gotta get cultured, bro.
Yeah, I suppose. And I like some stupid comedy. It's just
it's
Christmas
not really
stories.
stupid comedy. It's
That's
about
why
what
I don't like it.
Okay. This is where we need to understand what the movie actually is. The movie is about what it's like to be a young boy and the magic of Christmas. Yeah. Because like the whole point of the movie is he wants to get that Red Ryder BB gun, right? Mm-hmm. And like he finally gets it, but like he just gets caught up in all that is Christmas, and like just kind of the weird family stuff around Christmas, that the aunt that sends you the pink bunny costume, and your mom's like, you got to wear that at least once. Like that, those are all normal parts of like growing up and experiencing Christmas and where we live. And especially, it was set in the Midwest, but like I could easily see that happening. Yeah. Which I don't lots disagree. Of parts of America. It's Americana, I guess is the right way to put it.
Yeah. And of course, the era that it was created, cinema is very different.
Oh, yeah.
And that sort of thing. Because to your point, I would say it is a very realistic movie. Mm-hmm. It's a realistic holiday movie, which, again, I get. I just don't like it.
The dad losing his temper, because he has to change the tire and the kid messes it up. Yeah. Like those are all normal parts of growing up, and sometimes parts of Christmas.
Yeah, that's right.
Family has a tendency to be on edge at Christmas time sometimes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and all that makes sense. So, I like Elf. It's a good one.
It's a fun one. It was one. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of again like tangent for a second. It's Will Ferrell at his best. Like when he doesn't riff a whole lot and he kind of has something like that's when he's really good.
Yeah.
And Elf is him kind of like not riffing too much.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, no, that's good. Home Alone is a good one.
Great. Yep. My dad loved that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. There for a while, Maverick loved Home Alone. I mean, he was watching it,
one of the most unrealistic movies of all time.
Yes.
But so good.
Yeah. But yeah, so that one's good. The classics, like Charlie Brown Christmas,
good stuff.
Grinch.
Yep.
I mean, all that stuff is good, and I think I've shared maybe on a previous podcast, I'm not a big holiday guy in general. Christmas.
Don't like birthdays.
I don't like birthdays for sure. Christmas, I'm not a super fan of. And people always come at me like, you're just sacrilegious. How are you a pastor and you don't like Christmas? And it's like I like the meaning, I guess, behind Christmas and how we're kind of celebrating Jesus' birth and all those kinds of things. I'm all for that. And I just don't like the commercialization of the holidays and the busyness of it and all the extra stuff and all that. And so like it's supposed to be a time to like relax and enjoy, and it's just usually doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like I'm always having to kind of do something. So it's just I'm a the Grinch story.
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, I can relate to the Grinch pretty well. But yeah, but I mean, I like those movies and I enjoy them, and but there's not necessarily one that I would say was a traditional Christmas movie for me kind of growing up, or even, other than, like I said, I liked some of those, and we'll watch them, but I was trying to think of any others. I do have one that I'm going to ask about because it's a good controversial hot take that we might as well bring up. There's no better time to do it.
Okay, well, let's see if Kelly has any movies or stuff like that was kind of a part of her. Was there anything, Kelly, that you, like, as you think back on your childhood, you're like, that's a movie that was kind of always on at Christmas time or Thanksgiving? What about you?
No.
Do you have a favorite Christmas movie now?
I like Home Alone. This is not Christmas at all. We're way off topic.
Okay,
now.
yeah.
But like Wicked came out last year, like November 30th, whatever. I told you it wasn't about Christmas.
Okay, yeah. I can't wait to see how this fits together.
Well, it was around.
This is gonna be a great. This is gonna be a. This is a great segue. This is a great segue.
It was between Thanksgiving and Christmas, but I
already know what you're talking about.
Seeing that for like a whole year, and now we're almost there again, and I'm pumped. And that's not at all what you asked.
Did you see the Broadway show?
No.
Okay. But I haven't seen the movie. So Lorelai has seen the Broadway show and the movie. She loves the soundtrack. I am really genuinely curious about what she's going to think about the totality of the movie now that the second part's coming out, and she's going to watch all of it together, whether she's going to like the Broadway show more or the movie more. Anyways, sorry.
Right. I need to see Broadway, but there was never really like a Christmas movie playing. There was always like Christmas things.
Yeah.
Like there would be something, but nothing specific.
Okay. All right. I was just curious. Everybody's a little bit different there. Some people really like the movies that are associated with Christmas, and they're fun. And I know what Matt's going to talk about next, and we're probably going to fight about it. So Matt, what you got?
So, to segue there, I do enjoy, that is one tradition that I've tried to start, is like growing up, I'd always hear about people like going to the movies as a family on Thanksgiving, on Christmas. That's kind of part of their tradition. So that was something that I enjoy movies. And so that was a tradition that, I mentioned earlier, that wasn't necessarily anything that I ever wanted, but that was one that like friends and stuff would talk about. Like, man, that would be neat. Growing up, we didn't have any money, so we weren't going to the movies.
Yeah.
So that's something we've started kind of doing as a family more in probably the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. And, especially now that Maverick's getting older, and kind of incorporating that, because there's a lot of good movies that come out around that time. They market it for those families. And so that's something we've tried to do. And so, definitely, enjoy that. And there's a lot of great movies that have come out during those holiday times. And so usually try to do that. So with that being said, the great question is Die Hard, and is it a Christmas movie?
Okay, so the way you answer this question is dependent on one thing specifically.
Okay.
It is, you have to determine, is a Christmas movie because it's about Christmas, or is a Christmas movie because it is set at Christmas?
Yeah.
If your answer to that question is a Christmas movie because it's set at Christmas, just because your phone says it is, Die Hard, that's Die Hard. Have you never seen Die Hard?
No.
Okay.
Well, I was Googling it to see if I'd seen it. I think this is going to be a hot take for y'all.
Well, no, I'm going to disagree with Matt. I'm going to disagree with Matt, I think. Because people who say that if it's set at Christmas, then they're right. Like, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. If it's set at Christmas, then it is a Christmas movie. I'm going to make the argument that a Christmas movie is a Christmas movie because it is about Christmas. It's about the idea of Christmas, and so, like, there are movies that are set at Christmas time that are not Christmas movies. So Die Hard would be that.
Yeah. So you're saying Die Hard is
not a Christmas movie.
Okay. So I was going to disagree with you just to disagree so we can have some banter. But, I kind of, I agree with you.
Okay.
As far as that goes. So, because I have the same train of thought.
Yeah.
Where, because if you go to that mindset, because it's set at Christmas time, then there's a lot of other movies out there. You got to start considering Christmas movies.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull my phone out here. I know I got in trouble for phone etiquette just a little while ago, but I'm just going to pull it out. What I'm going to do is, while you're talking about this, I want to look up movies that are set at Christmas.
Okay. Well, Harry Potter, every one of those movies have Christmas.
And some networks play them on loop at Christmas time.
Okay. That's right. So Die Hard, we already mentioned. You have, I just had another one that I just thought of. I'm drawing a blank.
All right, so here we go. There's a bunch.
The Hawkeye series.
Yeah.
It's set at Christmas time. Does that mean that's a Christmas TV series?
No, absolutely not. So we have Die Hard, Batman Returns.
See?
Gremlins.
Okay.
Have either one of y'all seen Gremlins?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay. Catch Me If You Can. Lethal Weapon.
That was a great movie.
Yeah. Yep. Iron Man 3. It is set at Christmas time. Definitely not a Christmas.
Quintessential Christmas movie there.
Let's see if there's any. Mean Girls does have a Christmas scene in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Very inappropriate. Let's see. You've Got Mail. The Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh yeah.
Santa makes.
Those.
Yeah. Santa makes an appearance.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
so that's always been my argument as well, is if you're going to go to that mindset of Die Hard being a Christmas movie, you have to say all those are Christmas movies. And I guess perhaps someone who's in that camp would say, yes, those are Christmas movies because they take place at Christmas and you feel Christmas. I guess it's kind of the emotion, right? Is the movie
just because it's
bringing
set
out
at Christmas doesn't mean I feel the Christmas emotion,
right?
And so, Die Hard, it's about people escaping a terrorist. We're trying to stop a terrorist in this thing. I don't feel Christmas emotions at that.
And with that, now you have to start wondering: is Alan Rickman? Is he a Christmas character? Is he should he be typecast, or should he have been typecast as in all those Christmas movies? Because he was in Die Hard, he was in all the Harry Potter movies.
Yep.
I bet there's other movies out there where
when I think of Christmas, I do not think of Severus Snape.
See, and that's kind of the point. So we'll get all sorts of hate on that, I'm sure.
We'll see. I'll be curious. We have our hot takes episode coming out at some point. I don't know when that's going to be exactly, but
came out 2 weeks ago, I think.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I missed that somehow. Anyways, I haven't gotten any feedback from it.
Well, because it's kind of a weird time loop thing, right?
Yeah.
Because technically it
Inside baseball here, guys.
Yeah, so it has not, as of today, it has not come out yet. But as of them listening to this one,
it
came out 2 weeks ago.
That's true.
So we're in kind of this weird time loop kind of thing where to your point, it's kind of insider trading here a little bit because technically it hasn't come out. But if they're hearing this, then it has come out.
Okay,
So it's
So if you missed our last one, go listen to it.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Right.
You'll like the hot take episode, everybody. You should listen to it and then send us your responses to it because we would love to interact with you about it because we're genuinely curious. But yeah, like, anyways, I love the idea of holiday movies, Christmas movies, those sorts of things. I'll go back to my hot take on Thanksgiving. I think it deserves some songs, and a movie or two would be great. I mean, there is a Charlie Brown.
There is,
Thanksgiving one, which was great. I love Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown is way underrated and should be appreciated way more. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Charlie Brown.
Okay, good. Glad we're on the same page.
That just, since you're going to get chastised for having your phone out, I'm pulled mine out too. And I was just looking to see Thanksgiving movies. Like if there
are there really any Thanksgiving movies?
Well, most of the ones,
not set at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what it's showing me. There's one called the Thanksgiving movie. He's Turkey Trouble.
That sounds terrible.
You should have some staff
animated
and watch that.
Yeah. Spider-Man is listed here.
No,
really,
the original, yeah,
like the Tobey Maguire
one, yeah.
Oh wow.
So and
there's a Friends
Charlie
episode
Brown.
that's Thanksgiving.
Yep, that's right. And so, yeah,
That's
there's not much. Yeah.
See, Thanksgiving deserves more.
Yeah.
It's an elite holiday.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoy Thanksgiving. I think we talked about this in the hot take. I enjoy Thanksgiving more than I enjoy Christmas.
Yeah.
Because we talked about the reason I don't like Christmas is because it's very commercialized.
Yep.
Thanksgiving is Christmas. You just take away all the commercial aspect of it.
Yeah. How many commercials do you see about Thanksgiving?
Right. You know, and so that was the argument I made in our hot take. Why I don't believe Thanksgiving should get all these things because it's the last kind of pure holiday we have when it literally is just getting together, having food, hanging out, having a good time, rather than worrying about, am I getting this person a gift? What am I going to get this person? Are they going to get me a gift that's more expensive than the gift I'm giving them? You're running through all those kind of scenarios. So, but we're getting ready to, get into the holidays, and everyone has different experiences, different journeys that they go on. Some experience, a lot of good things in the holidays. Some experience challenges. Some will be walking through grief. And so that's our hope in this Better Things Ahead podcast over the next several weeks, that we kind of walk through all those different journeys. And maybe you're a family that's exploring new traditions or wanting to go through some of these. So we're hoping that through this, you'll learn from those who have went before you, so that your journey can be even better than theirs, and you can learn and pass the information on to others as well. So as we close out, we do want to remind you, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we'd encourage you to follow there, so that way you always know when a new episode comes out. It also helps others that maybe need to hear some of these podcasts, and maybe they can experience better things by hearing the experiences of others. We'd love for you to do that. If you're listening on YouTube, you can like and subscribe there. Again, our goal here is just to provide information so that way you can experience these journeys that others have went on before you, and always remember that there are better things ahead.